Okay, I am making this video. I'm going to try my best not to get emotional and to only speak with clear facts, and I will show my findings at the end of this video and my evidence. So this is an incident that happened yesterday at my daughter's daycare, which she will not be attending anymore. It is the South Hill KinderCare in Spokane, Washington. The incident happened at 4:30 yesterday. I was waiting to make a video until I lodged complaints with CPS, DCYF, Board of Licensing, and KinderCare Corporate. So I took care of all of that this morning. Now it is 4 p.m. on March 26th, and hence why the video is getting made. So, sorry. Yesterday, when I'm on my way to pick up my daughter for ballet from her daycare, I look down at my phone and I see that I have a voicemail from my daughter's daycare. I'm driving, I'm not actively on my phone, so I missed the call. I call them back. They left a voicemail at 4:28 p.m. I call them back at 4:30 p.m. The center director answers, and she lets me know that my daughter, who is 3 years old, got out of the outside playground area and ran into oncoming traffic on Ray Street. Immediately, I cut her off because that's terrifying, and I say, "Oh my God, is she okay?" The center director sighs, and she says, "Yeah, Ava's fine. I'm just letting you know that she's suspended because she's not listening." So with her tone, with the incident that happened, I'm immediately getting mad, super upset. Mama Bear's coming out. So I say, "Okay, I'll be there in a moment," and I hang up the phone. I called my grandma, and I'm like, "Hey, please tell me if I'm in the wrong, because I understand, Ava's my only child. Maybe I'm being super helicopter parent, but this seems like it would 100% be on the daycare, and her getting suspended for it especially seems insane to me." So my grandma, redirects me. She tells me, like, "No, you're completely valid. That is insane. Go in there and you need to speak to them. You need to get Ava, and just good riddance." And I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, exactly what I was thinking. So I show up and I'm trying to calm myself down, because like I'm a big girl. I'm 5'10", 200 pounds. I'm trying to handle this with couth and have decorum and have them not somehow paint me as like aggressive or in the wrong in any way. That's my biggest fear. So I go in there, and the way that this center is set up, there's a front door that you need one passcode to get in. There's a second door that you also have to pass through that has a separate passcode from the front door. Inside of that second door is the center. So if you go right when you enter the door, there's 2 offices. There's the center director's office and the assistant center director's office. My daughter is standing right in front of the front door when I get there. No adults next to her. The gate to her classroom closed. She can't even get in there. So immediately I start getting upset again, because the only thing that you need to get out is push the door. There's no codes to get out. The doors aren't locked. So Ava very easily could have went out of those doors, ran into oncoming traffic again, and had a possibly fatal incident, because the fact that this wasn't fatal is by the grace of God. I prayed so hard last night after this, and I have not felt easy since this whole incident happened. So I'm immediately upset again. I take Ava's hand and we start going to her classroom. I'm looking back because I do see that there's a woman in the second office, not the office that Ava was next to, but in the second one. And I see that there's a lady in there. You can see her shadow and stuff. She not once notices that I came in. She doesn't notice that Ava's gone, because Ava didn't say like, "Mommy." She didn't jump on me. Nothing of the sort. She just slowly walked up to me and we both walked away. And I'm looking at that lady because I want her to notice that Ava's gone, because I want her to freak out and think, "Oh my God, maybe Ava ran outside." Because why, if you are interested to take care of kids, are you not supervising them better? So I'm looking. About 2 minutes pass. She never once looks up. So then I make peace with that. Not my circus, not my monkeys. I go to Ava's cubby and I'm immediately gathering all of her things, because I know they think she's just suspended for 2 days. She is never coming back to this facility. I would never, ever let that happen again. So I'm gathering all of her things. The center director is in the classroom, and then finally she says something to me. And I did not engage with her because, frankly, I don't want to talk to her. I'm upset, and I think she knows that she's in the wrong. So eventually she goes, she's like, yeah, Ava's just not listening. And she's putting everything on Ava, my 3-year-old daughter, saying it's Ava's fault. She got out of the gate. A bystander actually is the one that got her. She didn't tell me this on the phone. She didn't tell me this in the voicemail. She's only telling me this in person, that a friendly neighborhood man is the one that got Ava and was able to bring him back. So that also upsets me, because not even one of the teachers was able to get her. And also, Ava's a girl. Strange man got her. Doesn't make me feel very good. So then I just immediately just start looking down, grabbing all of Ava's things. I cannot believe she has so much stuff here. So then I'm like holding Ava's hand, and the director is just still, kind of saying the same things. Ava's not listening. She needs to leave. And I'm like, yeah, when I toured this facility in June, there were huge gray locks on all of the outside areas. I was like, so I'm just confused on how she got out. She looks at the teacher, looks back at me, and then she goes, yeah, Ava's just not listening. She completely disregards the question. So then I just go, okay, and I leave. I don't say bye. I don't say have a good day. I don't let her know that we're never coming back. I just say, okay, bye, and I leave. Once we get into the car, Ava starts complaining that her head hurts, her neck hurts, and she doesn't feel good. Not like Ava. So it's 5 p.m. at this point, and I'm like, fuck. I try to call CPS to lodge a complaint immediately, because I know that this is wrong. I know that they need to be shut down. And the fact that they had no accountability is very scary as a parent. And go back to bed, baby. And I am just thinking, it turned out good for Ava. She was really shaken up after. But the fact that this could happen to someone else's child and so easily be a fatal incident, it doesn't sit right with me. So anyway, Ava's doing all this complaining, and then she falls asleep. 5 p.m. Not like her. So I immediately take her to the ER. I think she might have a concussion. I'm like, maybe she fell, because they weren't very forthcoming about all the details of the incident. Why would I put it past them to hide that she fell and hit her head? They also never gave me any type of incident report. They never once apologized, and they never said, like, this will never happen again, or this has never happened. Nothing of the sort. So I take her to the ER. My partner comes and sits with us after a bit, and she ends up getting cleared. She does not have a concussion, but I don't think that it's crazy for me to think that, and then while I'm in the waiting room, I'm looking all these things up, and we have like a KinderCare family packet. And in that packet, it says nothing about a child being suspended for escaping the grounds, or even like for bad behavior. There's nothing about that. Children can be expelled, I guess, if they are like a risk for other kids, but that's not how she is. So then I'm like, they just made up this whole fucking policy to suspend her. And I don't know. When I talked to KinderCare corporate, they took accountability. They said this is a horrible thing. But I don't trust them. I will never ever let my daughter go to another KinderCare. And it's really hard, especially being a single mom and having a career. It feels impossible sometimes to find somewhere where you feel okay leaving your kids there. And I just hate that this happened, and I hate Ava had to go through that. I hate how fatal this could have been, and I hate the thought of parents in that facility not knowing what happened. And I hate how blasé the entire staff was about it happening, and the fact that they weren't even the ones to get her. But anyways, I'm gonna leave screenshots of all the stuff at the end. Here is the voicemail that they left me at 4:38. Obviously I can't play it, but you can read what it says. And here is the policy that says nothing about suspension for escaping the grounds.